Hello and welcome back. In the last one, we were basically finishing up the action bars like this. However, there are definitely some things we need to change. First of all, the hotkeys are not showing up even though we decided that, said that it was going to. So let's go to our inventory slot. Now I'm guessing that is because we aren't actually updating it on the construct. So let us also update hotkey on this construct and let's hit play. Now we got our action bars down here. Okay, so now let us go into our WBP action bar and let us start working on inside here. Let's go to our event graph. In our event graph, right click, do a custom event. I'm going to call this update action bars first load. And this is just going to get the settings that we made previously. It is going to promote that to loaded settings. And now we're going into a fucking sequence. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our action bar header name text and we're going to set the render transform. That is our then 0. We're going to set it to our angle that we set our name rotation to be, just so we can get them in the right place. So right click your loaded and expand that. That goes into there like so. This is also not the right render, so we're going to set angle, render transform angle, sorry, into the bar rotation. Now the second one is going to check if we are enabled. So we're going to get our loaded. This is going to become a bit messy in the run. We're going to get our loaded and we're going to do a branch out of the enabled, not the action bar name, sorry, the loaded settings enabled. If we are not enabled, we're going to go into self set visibility and set that visibility to be hidden. However, if we are enabled, we're going to go into a visible. The third pin on then 2 basically is going to be updating our max slots. Now this is going to be a function, update max slots, and update max slots is basically going to get our inventory ref, get our slot refs. And now we're going to do a for each loop on our slot refs. And we're going to check if we're going to get the index. And we're going to check if the index plus 1 is greater than the max slots. So get our loaded settings, expand, and plug in our max slots. If that is greater, then we're going to, well, if that is going into a branch. If that is greater, then we're going to set the array element to collapsed, set visibility to collapsed. However, if it is not, then we're going to set visibility to visible. So false and visible. Out of completed, you can return. Head back to your event graph, and on then 2, you can now update max slots. On then 3, that's going to be our name. So we're going to get our settings again. We're going to check if the name is enabled. The name is not enabled, then we're going to get our action bar header name text, set visibility to be hidden. However, if it is true, then we're going to set it to be visible. Well, actually, we're going to set it to be not hit testable. And then we're going to set text to be that of our action bar name. The then 4 is going to set our padding. So we're going to get our grid panel and we're going to set padding, select slot padding, split this, and then that goes into then 4. And we're going to set it to the information that we have saved. So our vertical padding is top and bottom. Our horizontal is the left and right. Our next one, we're going to handle the opacity and the scale. So, well, we can actually just continue this on here, to be fair. Let us get our uniform grid panel, set render opacity. We're going to set that to our slot opacity. And then we're going to get our self and set render scale. And this X and Y is going to be plugged into the scale. Now at the very end on then 5, we are going to remove from parent on ourselves. So then 5 goes down here to remove from parent. And then we are going to add to viewport on ourselves. Then we're going to get our HUD ref and get our HUD canvas. And we're going to add child to canvas. Who are we going to add? Well, we're going to add ourselves to the canvas. We are then going to set size to content to be true. After we have set that, we're going to set the C order. I'm going to set it to be basically like negative 100. This is the C order gets fucked when you remove and add things back to the parents, but we do need to remove it in order to set the position. So out from the add child, we're going to now set position. And the position that we're going to set it to is the one from our save. So I don't know why I split that. We combine those and set it to that. That is our first load. Now let's go into our HUD. We'll generate the action bars. After we generate the inventory, then we're going to update action bar first. So we're actually going to make a custom event here called update AB first. We're going to get all widgets of class. Class is going to be our action bars. It's not going to be top level only. We're going to do a for each loop. And for each of these, we're going to update action bars first load. And at the end, we can get our inventory and we can update the location of that as well. So WBP inventory, make a new function, call it update location. Here we're going to get our HUD ref, we're going to get our game instance ref, get our action bar settings. I'm going to do a for each with break. Break the element, check if the ID is equal to the ID of our inventory. If that is true, we're going to break. You know this already. Into another branch out of completed. So if this is all true, then we're going to remove from parent. We're going to add to viewport. We're going to set position in viewport. And we might actually need to add this to child as well in order to figure out the Z order, but it should be fine like this. I'm just going to move it like down to here. This is going to be a bit messy actually. So let us promote this to a local, so local settings. Collapse that again and get our local settings out here. Split that, and that is our position. I was going to remove the DPI scale on that, and we can return, and on false we can return. That is our update location. Now we can go back to our HUD, and on completed we can update location. Remember to remove your save, and when we now hit play, there's our inventory and everything. We haven't actually called this though, so update AB first. We are now ready to basically start our drag and drop of our stuff. So let's do our inventory first of all. So on our inventory, we're going to override on mouse button down. We're going to take my geometry, absolute to local, and mouse event is going to be get screen space position. So absolute local, screen space position, like so. We're going to promote this to drag offset. On our mouse event, detect drag if pressed, left mouse button, return node goes into there. Now we can do a on drag detected. And I like to just make sure that I have everything set up, so I'm going to do a print there. So it doesn't work here, and that's good. It does work on the borders. We only want it there at the. So that is working as it should. Now on drag detected, I do want to make another widget. So inside of my Actionbar system, inside of my, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it drag&drop. Inside of here, I'm going to make a new widget. It's going to be my WBP Actionbar widget drag. I'm going to open it up. Now my Actionbar widget drag is very simple. It's just going to contain a size box, decide on screen, override, make it variable. It's going to be my widget size. And then I'm going to add a border inside of that. And this border is going to be, make it visible. Let's make the brush color like a dark with a 0.5 alpha. I'm going to make it visible, yeah. And that is it for that. I do think we actually want it to be not hit like that. Go into the graph, make a widget ref variable of type user widget. Make it exposed and variable. We're going to get our widget ref. We're going to cast to WBP Actionbar. Actually, we're going to cast to WBP inventory. We're going to get desired size, get our widget size, set width, override, set height, override, split this desired, X into width, Y into height, and that is it for our construct. Now we can go into our folder again, and we can right click, create a new blueprint. This is a drag drop operation. I'm going to call it Actionbar drag drop. And in here we're going to add 3 variables. The first one is going to be widget ref, which is going to be user widget, exposed and editable. I'm going to duplicate that, make a drag offset, vector 2D, duplicate that, and have a ID variable as well. And that is it for that. Now we can go back to our inventory. On drag detected, we are going to create widget, which is going to be our Actionbar widget drag. Widget ref is our self. We're going to promote this to drag widget. Might as well. And now do a create drag drop operation. It's going to be my Actionbar drag drop. Widget ref is our self. The offset goes into the drag offset, not the offset down there. The ID is my inventory ID. The visual is the dragged widget. The pivot is the mouse down. And that is it for that. Now I can place that there. If I now go and play, I can now drag that. I cannot drop it yet, so let's go into our HUD. Go into our onDrop event. And in our HUD, we are now going to cast, on a cast fail, we're going to cast to Actionbar drag drop. And the operation is the object, like so. We're going to get widget ref. And now we're going to remove from parent. Going to add to viewport. Going to add child to canvas. So we need our canvas, HUD canvas. Add child to canvas. The child is widget ref. I'm going to set size to content to be true. Then we're going to set the position of it to be that of out of our drag drop here. I'm going to do a get drag offset. Actually, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. And also from our geometry up here, we want to do a, from geometry, we want to do a absolute to local, and from our pointer, we want to get screen space position like last time. Plug it in like so. Out of the return out of this, you want to do a subtract, and you want to subtract the offset from our drag drop. That is our new position. We're also going to set the Z order And I'm just going to set it to 0. Once that is done, we want to get our game instance ref. And we want to get Actionbar settings. Want to do a for each loop with break. We'll break this, check if the ID is equal to the ID. This is a bit messy, but it is what it is. To that ID, you can just promote this to a local or something. And then you would have access to it in a more clean way. Now I'm going to add a branch here. And on true, we're going to break out. I am going to make this to a local though. So local settings. So we are going to use that in a second. Second branch into completed. If it is false, we are going to return with a success. If it is true, we're going to get our Actionbar settings. We're going to set array element. The index is the array index. And the item, I'm going to expand size to fit, remember that. We're going to get our local settings. I'm going to split this. Plug in the corresponding nodes, max slots, max horizontal, vert, everything except for the positioning. Because the position is going to get this one as well. Then we can get our game instance ref and we can save action bars. And we can return with a success. Now on save action bars, I just want to do a print for now and just to see if it actually fires properly. Remove my save game like so. That's telling us that it's saved. And our player inventory is now saved regardless. That is what we're going to do today, and in the next one we are going to continue on with our action bars. We are slowly but surely getting there, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. If you hate the video, please let me know what I can do better, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye bye.